What's up, sisters? This is your boy, Beef, and welcome back to the channel. I hope y'all are having a fantastic day because we just got some news that will make it even better. With the most recent patch of Baldur's Gate 3, Larian Stduios added official modding support using the in-game client that has since led to the addition of a ton of supplemental D&D content and even more fully custom classes, items, clothing, rule changes, really just about anything you can think of. Mods for the game have vastly increased the replayability of a game that already had more replayability than pretty much any game I've ever played, personally. The modding community around Baldur's Gate 3 has been giving massive Skyrim vibes lately, and I am all here for it. Larian said that the recent patch 7 would be their last big update for the game before they moved on fully to other projects, but this morning, Larian Stduios announced a huge new update in 2025 coming to the game in the form of patch 8, and I'm legitimately so excited for what we're getting with it. I mean, really, what is up with them? First they go and drop like the greatest game of all time, then they launch official mod support for it, and just when we think they've moved on from the game, they go and drop a whole new expansion, basically. So let's just go ahead and do a quick run-through of the new community update and talk about how much we love Larian Stduios. First off, patch 8 will bring cross-play to Baldur's Gate 3, which means console players and PC players will be able to play together in a multiplayer game. I'm so excited for this personally because all my friends are on different platforms, and I'd love to be able to play a game with all of us together. You can see, as it reads here, whether you're joining PS5 players from your PC or jumping into a game with Mac users from your Xbox, Baldur's Gate 3 multiplayer will soon feature full cross-platform progression, including crossplay, just as the game gods intended. We love the game gods. Once the update is live, you'll be able to invite your friends to join your crossplay lobby directly, regardless of platform, and find available multiplayer lobbies with friends on other systems using the Larian network. So, like I thought, this is going to be using the connected Larian account that you have built into your game that has already been used for cross saves that will now enable players to invite each other to a game across those platforms, similar to how EA and other developers integrate their crossplay systems using their own native sort of network. Additionally, patch 8 will add a photo mode into the game, which is overall a minor quality of life feature, but an awesome one at that. Being able to free up the camera and take screenshots is an excellent improvement to the game and will also help me with my thumbnails, more than anything, really. You can see here, finally, you can start using pictures of fish you've caught on your dating profile and start snapping photos with your Hound of Ill Omen. Spoiler alert. Photo mode is coming to Baldur's Gate 3 in patch 8. Camera settings, you can toggleable from the HUD, located near the minimap by using the hotkey binding. As long as they're in your party while adventuring, you'll be able to line up your scene perfectly. And you can basically set up, as you can see here, they have this little GIF that kind of shows you can set up like a full scene and adjust the camera and freeze everything. And then you can even you can adjust their poses and play with the lenses so you can zoom in or go for a really wide angle. It's really cool. You can adjust the field of view, the exposure, the depth of field of focus. You basically have, it's like most other games that have the sort of photo mode functionality. It's just we're finally getting it in Baldur's Gate 3 in a way that you can also pose the characters, which is really fun. You can play with the scene settings here. You can cut out different characters if you want to mess with things and change things around. Really just anything up to you, plus a range of over 40 static and animated poses, like I mentioned, each with multiple variations to help give you the perfect layout. Really awesome. You also have post-processing effects. This is really just like, there's frames, there's stickers that you can add. Look at this one with the Dark Urge. That's a lot of fun. I can't wait to do this with some of my characters and really use these for some really fun thumbnails. This is literally the Dark Urge is taking a selfie with the Mind Flayer and Commander Sal. That's hilarious. I love that. Look at these stickers here. We've got, I don't even know what's going on here. What are they doing at Larian Stduios? They are really just going absolutely bananas over there. A romantic moment between custom characters by Helena van der Veer, playtester. They are, okay. They're modding the hell out of their games over at Larian. More than I am. Whatever. Good for them. The biggest part of patch 8, however, is the addition of 12 new subclasses into the base game. That's right, 12 subclasses. Each class is getting a new subclass from D&D 5th edition content, and this is seriously awesome. Many of these subclasses have already been implemented as mods in the mod manager, but this patch will add them to the base game so players who are wary of modding don't need to engage with it and risk corrupting their save files. I've personally not had any issues with corrupt files, but it's not unheard of, so I don't blame folks for not being too keen on the mod scene. The subclasses that we're going to get are some of my favorites, so let's go over our new subclass options. For Bard, we are going to get the College of Glamour. This Bard subclass focuses on granting your allies a buff called the Mantle of Inspiration, which grants 5 temporary hit points and charms attackers. The Mantle of Majesty allows your character to cast the command spell on charmed enemies without using a spell slot on your bonus action. This is super awesome and echoes builds using the Band of the Mystic Scoundrel, because that's kind of how they play, is they do an attack, they follow it up with a bonus action illusion or enchantment spell like command. I love that build. It's super fun. This is going to be a really fun bard class to play with without needing the Band of the Mystic Scoundrel. The Barbarian class is going to be getting the Path of the Giants subclass. This is a super fun subclass that is actually new to D&D. It released in a Big B Presents book, which released just before Baldur's Gate 3 did in 2023. If you're looking for a class which makes you feel like the Hulk, this is an awesome pick. When you rage, your character's size grows to large, increasing the range of your melee attacks and adding rage damage to your thrown attacks. You can also imbue your weapon with elemental energy, turning all of your damage into that specific elemental type, so you can just throw like an axe at an enemy and make it lightning based. The great part about the throwing weapons is that this subclass also gains the ability to have returning weapons. So you get that kind of same ability as the Warlock and the Eldritch Knight. Really awesome. Even more so, at level 10, the Path of the Giants Barbarian will learn Mighty Impel, which allows you to pick up and throw medium-sized enemies, which covers pretty much most of the enemies in the game. You can throw about pretty much everybody now, which is really awesome and is really going to be a lot of fun for you thrower builds that just want to have fun and do whatever the hell you want. The Cleric class is getting a new domain, perfect for an evil shadow heart. We have the Death domain, adding 3 new cantrips like Toll the Dead. This cleric is as evil a cleric as you can get. They even added a homebrew ability that lets you explode corpses. I mean, what? That is so cool. Druids will gain access to the famed Circle of Stars. This subclass adds new starry form wild shapes that allow you to switch up your playstyle and focus on casting, as these starry forms work more like Spore Druids, temporary HP buff. You don't actually turn into a different form. You more so just kind of imbue yourself with a buff that then allows you to do more damage or to heal enemies. Each form takes on a role of either healing damage, or the dragon form, which is kind of crazy and does like this big dragon breath attack. It's really, really wild. Paladins will be able to take the Oath of the Crown, a warrior who swears fealty to the ideals of civilization and upholding the law of the land. Good luck maintaining your oath with this goody-two-shoes subclass. That said, this subclass gains access to spells like Spirit Guardians, Command, Compelled Duel, and a Divine Allegiance ability, which allows you to tank an attack that strikes one of your allies. So this is a very good sort of tanky character that can then take damage away from your enemies, and it's very protecting. Very big on protection. Fighters are going to be gaining access to the Arcane Archer, a subclass which allows you to imbue your weapons with magical effects, inflicting different status effects like blind, banishing your foes, or just dealing a ton of damage, all with your arrows. You can shoot an arrow that will blind your enemies, you can shoot an arrow that will banish your enemies, you can shoot them that just does extra damage. There's really a lot of options here available to you. Maybe my favorite new addition, the Drunken Master Monk, is going to be a ton of fun to play around with. With this subclass, you drink alcohol just directly from your inventory to recover key points, inflict your enemies with drunkenness somehow by pouring alcohol over them. I don't know how. We'll have to figure it out. And then you sober them up with a huge punch to the face. What could be more fun than that? I mean, really, it's pretty simple, but it's really fun in practice. Rangers are going to be getting a really cool new subclass called the Swarm Keeper. Whether you want to attack your enemies with a swarm of bees, moths, or even a swarm of jellyfish, you are the undisputed king of the swarm. Jellyfish deal lightning damage and shock your enemies, moths deal psychic damage and blind your enemies, and bees can push them 15 feet backwards. Each swarm also comes with its own unique teleportation abilities. This is a really fun subclass that just has a lot of really great utility to it, and a lot of really fun flavor, because you can be a beekeeper or a bat keeper or a jellyfish keeper, I guess. Why not? The rogue classes are going to be getting the Swashbuckler, a pirate-themed subclass which allows you to throw sand at people. That's right, the Swashbuckler Rogue is getting Pocket Sand. This subclass also gets unique ways to use its sneak attack and a few cool weapon actions. Specifically, you use sneak attack against enemies that are isolated from your other enemies. So it's kind of like, it's a very good dueling build. It's very good for getting an enemy on their own and then sneak attacking them just because you can. You can also blind and disarm your opponents, or you can use fancy footwork passive while meleeing your enemy to ensure they can't make opportunity attacks against you for the rest of your turn, which is really awesome to be able to dodge the opportunity attacks. Another one of my favorites, the Shadow Magic Sorcerer, is coming to Baldur's Gate 3. With superior dark vision, shadow teleportation, and the unique companion, the Hound of Ill Omen, which you can see here in this GIF. This is a fun darkness-themed sorcerer subclass that I'm excited to get my hands on. This also pairs really well with Shadowheart, because she's obviously a shadow person, very Sharon. For the Warlock, Larian has decided to grace us with the insane power of the Hexblade, Another option for Shadowheart, given the tie to the Shadowfell. This Warlock applies hexes and then raises the corpses of marked enemies for 10 turns. This is a super fun subclass that it also is the most popular 1-level dip in Dungeons & Dragons because you can get the Pact of the Blade bonus at level 1 instead of 3. It's not actually the Pact of the Blade, but the main thing that you get out of it is that you can attack enemies and it uses your spellcasting modifier for scaling, which is effectively what you get out of Pact of the Blade. But you get it at level 1, so you can just do a 1-level dip and boom. Easy. And finally, we get the subclass that I'm probably most excited for, the Blade Singer Wizard. Mixing magic and melee, the wizard subclass casts spells through your weapon and activates a blade song, which enables you to move faster and empower you abilities and gives you a bonus to your constitution saving throw, which is going to help you maintain concentration, which is really great because the blade singing ability, I believe, is concentration, and a lot of your spells are also going to be concentration. This is really cool. But that's pretty much everything coming to us in the upcoming patch 8 for Baldur's Gate 3. Which of these new subclasses are you most excited to try out? Do you want to see a build video for any of these subclasses? Let me know in the comments down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more Baldur's Gate 3 videos. Thank you so much, and I will see y'all in the next one.